Hey everyone, I'm really excited about this video because I just learned about a really cool program that Celestron just came out with called CPWI, and it stands for Celestron, and then the company Celestron, I guess, teamed up with called Plane Wave Instruments. And this is just like, I'm like a kid in a candy store with this program because for me, it's bringing together a lot of things I've always wanted to do at the same time. So, anyway, let me, share with you what I've learned about it so far. I'm in a place where I'm just doing a simulated situation, and the simulation includes an assumed polar alignment, which I would have done with my pole master, which my pole master, and then after that, I've leveled my mount. This is all assuming first, before you even launch the program, that one, you've leveled your mount, two, you've polar aligned. I happen to use my pole master for that, which I believe I get really good results with. And then after that, launch your programs that you're going to need for your imaging session. So let me show you what I've learned so far. The first thing I want to show you is the CPWI program itself. It's a free download if you own a Celestron mount. I'm 99.9% sure it works with most Celestron GoTo mounts. So here's the program here on my desktop. So you open that up. Oh, I do want to mention also, have your hand controller into your hub all powered up and ready to go. So just to sort of recap what you need to have going on before you even launch the program. You need to have leveled your mount, one. Two, you need to have polar aligned. Whatever method you use there, you need to polar align. Again, I just happen to use my pole master for that. And then, I've lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Let's start over again. You need to level your mount. You need to make sure your hand controller is plugged into your hub and powered up. And then three, you need to polar align. So level your mount. Well, actually, power on your hand controller, level your mount, and polar align. Once all this is set up and you're good to go in those three areas, then you're ready for this program. Now, there's two programs that I use that I will now use moving forward for my imaging sessions. This Celestron's PWI program, and two, let me show you what else I do. Go back there, is my imaging program software itself, which for me is Backyard EOS. And the way to get both of them on the screen is to minimize both screens and then just play with them until they both fit. Okay, it's a lot easier when you're star aligning to be able to see the stars in the direticle of your camera software. Mine again is this Backyard EOS. So connect your camera, and then I always go to frame and focus. You heard the click in the background there. That was my 1300D. And then you minimize. And then you scoot that thing over so that you have access to both programs. So I can click here or I can click here and still be in business. And let me show you what I've learned. I'm going to demonstrate a star alignment. When they say alignment, they're talking about a star alignment, which you normally do either with NexRemote or on your hand control device itself. So the first thing I do is I go to CPWI, and I select connect setup via hand control. So in other words, I have my hand controller plugged into my powered hub, and then I switched on that particular port on my powered hub. And again, that was all done initial to this when I powered on my hand controller. And then you click connect. So what's cool here is, as long as you have a good internet signal, it'll detect your latitude and longitude, and it'll use your computer to set up local time, and that way you're all set up. So this latitude is exactly where I'm at. This longitude same. I mean, it's very, very precise. And then you do a manual align, because you want to build a model of the sky that you can store and then use again later. That part I've learned is that's really cool. Now again, I want to tell you that I've not actually done this in the field yet. This is all simulated stuff, but I don't see where it's going to be a problem actually doing this when the sky actually behaves. Right now I've got a near new moon or a new moon and clouds. So, oh well, I have to move forward, and whatever. So you can tell I'm bummed out about that. But anyway, it's given me time to kind of play around with this and really learn this. So manual align is what you want to do. And again, I want to be clear, this is your star alignment that you're storing. You're creating a model of the sky, because I have to assume that you set up, let me say this. Let me back up and say, if you're setting up in the same place, exact same place every time, you can use this model, and you don't have to bother going through a manual align every single time. You can do, I believe you can click load pointing model, and you're off to the races in terms of being able to, go straight to your target, and then go forward from there with your imaging session. So I'm going to just demonstrate a star alignment. So I select manual align, and then I click begin align. And now I have an AVX mount, but I know with the more expensive mounts, you don't have to worry about manually putting the mount in the home position. I believe it will actually do it for you. But I'm learning that I have an AVX, a Celestron AVX, so I have to manually move the mount to the home position, which includes lining up both my right ascension and declination axes via those index marks on those parts of the mount. Okay, so that's been done. I did that already, and I'll put complete, and then it brings this up. This is the manual alignment interface box. And the goal here is to get 2 points from the east, and then 2 points from the west. That'll create a good, accurate alignment model. I've learned that if you do 7 so far, you get a very good pointing model, but if I did 8 for some reason and it said very poor, and I don't know why. Maybe someone could shed some light on why it would determine a poor model with 8 solid alignment stars. But anyway, so everything is ready to go here. So the first thing I do is I'm going to go start with my southwestern sky. So this is how this breaks down. These are suggested targets for your star alignment. You have the southwestern sky, northwestern sky. So these are both western portions of the sky. Then you have northeast and southeast. So if you do one from each area, you're deemed to have a good pointing model, okay, or a good map of the sky. So I'm going to go ahead and, before real quick, I would like to show you, this is the star map. Looks really cool. It looks a lot like a program that I've used before used before called, I'm really excited, I'm having a hard time speaking here, sorry. But anyway, called Cartesiel, and it's kind of a cross between Stellarium and Cartesiel, but very easy to read, and it's really user-friendly. So let me simulate a manual star alignment for you and then show you what I understand. Okay, so the idea is you want all these circles green. If they're all green, you're ready to slew to your target and start your imaging program, okay? And your guiding and all that. So what I do first is I'll just select Altair, and I'll click Go to Altair. You can hear my mount slewing, and if you follow the mount, you can see it moving across the night sky, or in my case, the simulated night sky. So you can kind of follow that, see where it's going. And there is Altair. So at this point, I kind of want to do, now after it lands on your first alignment star, it brings up this simulated hand controller. I like my rate to be a little lower so it doesn't slew so fast when I'm, adjusting for alignment. So at this point, I might do, try to get it more. Well, maybe I'll increase the rate a little bit here to get it. At this, for the first alignment star, you might want to use a finder scope. I have my Rigel, which works pretty good, to kind of bring it into the field of view, because at this point what I do is I minimize this screen, and again, I'm in my garage, so you're not going to actually see a star in there, but in backyard EOS here, hopefully you would see the star somewhere in here. So the idea is to get the star right in the middle of the direticals here. If you've done that, you've got precise alignment with that particular guide star, or alignment star, I should say, excuse me, guide star. Here I like to decrease the rate down, so because I'm fine tuning. So if I fine tune it here, and let's just say it's right in the middle. Okay, so at that point, I'll re-maximize my screen. And hit object is centered, and at that point it tells you you have one alignment point in use, and that one alignment point is located west of the meridian. Remember, you need west of the meridian and east of the meridian pointer alignment stars, so that your mount has a solid map of the night sky, so that when you slew to your actual target, it slews with precise alignment, it slews precisely onto your target. Okay, so the next one I need to do is another one in the western part of the sky. So in this instance, I'll just choose Vega, and then I'll click Go to Vega. And as you can see, the mount is now moving towards Vega, and you can hear my mount slewing in the background. So I'll just kind of do that, and as you can see, it's pretty much on Vega. So at that point, I would minimize this screen, move this on over, and decrease my rate so that I can very slowly and precisely put it in my diretical. And at that point, I'd click object is centered. Okay, now it says finish alignment, but when I was using the hand controller before, I would do 2 regular alignment stars and then 4 calibration stars. And I have learned through the process of time that the more calibration stars you have, the more precisely your mount will slew to your chosen target. So I personally want to keep adding more alignment stars. So re-maximize that one. And it says here finish alignment, but I personally want to add more, pointer stars here. So what I'll do is I'll click. It tells you already that you have 2 points, 2 pointer stars west of the meridian, and you notice that circle is green. That's good. You want all these circles to be green, so that's our goal. So you just quite simply click finish alignment, and then it says here alignment complete. That's analogous to doing a quick 2-star alignment, but as we all know, the more calibration stars you add, the more accurate your mount's going to slew to your given target, your chosen target. So it says you may add more alignment references by selecting the add stars to model button, and that's right here. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to click OK, and right now the scope is sitting on Vega. That's my second pointer star, or my second alignment star. So I'm going to click add stars to model, which brings that manual alignment dialog box back up. And now, as you can see here, I have 2 alignment stars in the west, and what I really need is 2 more in the east. And then after that, you can do 1 more in the east or in the west, and you've got what's considered a very good aligned mount, GoTo mount. So I need the east, so I want to reopen this thing up here, and I'm going to select Capella, and then you click go to Capella. And as you can see, it's looking for Capella, which is right here, so it's going right here. Excuse me. And as you can see, it lined up right on Capella. At this point, again, I would minimize this screen, move all this over, use my simulated slew controls here to center my star here. Once I did that, I would say object is centered. Then I re-maximize this. And what's cool here is once you minimize it, it goes back to where you had it before, so you can see both screens clearly here. So at this point, I want to add another one. And as you can see, most boxes are green now, except it's saying in order for this to be green, you need 1 more alignment or pointer star in the east of the meridian, or the eastern part of the sky. So I want to go all the way down and choose southeastern part of the sky and just say Rigel is typically a good alignment star. So I'll click go to Rigel, and as you can see, it's going to Rigel. So let's follow it to Rigel. Or at least I thought it was going to Rigel. That doesn't say Rigel. Oh well. Anyway, this is just a simulation. I think in this case I'll say select different target, and it might be behind the trees or something like that. Probably is. So let me go here to, let's just say Alnalam. I think that's how you pronounce that. And let's make sure that one's in the sky, and then we'll click go to Alnalam. If anyone knows how to pronounce that correctly, please let me know. So let's click go to Alnalam. And nope, it's still not. I'm assuming this model is showing me exactly what's in the sky, and if it's sitting right here and the name of the star isn't showing, that means it's below the horizon or something to that effect. I'm pretty sure that that's the case. So let's go select different object. And let's go, I already did, let's go to, I don't know, let's just go to Venus, I guess. And then click go to Venus. And it looks like that's going to be a better one for us above the horizon. Hopefully. Let's follow it over. And Venus and Mercury are usually in the same neighborhood. So there it is. So that's definitely better because that's showing on the sky map there. Okay, which means it's above the horizon in the sky where it needs to be. So again, decrease that rate. At this point, your slewing is going to be pretty accurate. So once you get to your camera software, in my case, Backyard EOS, your alignment or pointer star is going to probably be least in this area. I have been as accurate as having it land right into this little circle before. But in theory, it should be, because it's got a, at this point, it's got a pretty good map of the sky. So chances are your slewing's already pretty accurate. So at this point, I would fine tune it, you know, using this slew control interface. And I'm just doing a simulated one here. You can increase the rate here, but if I'm fine tuning my process here, or where I want my alignment star, my direticals, I'm going to put that slewing rate pretty down there. And then at this point, I think everything looks good. I verified that here on my camera software interface. So I'd re-maximize that. I can see that my mounts on Venus pretty accurately. Now I have another good alignment star to add to my eastern part of my meridian, to my model, I should say. Another good eastern alignment star to add to my star model, okay, alignment model. So at this point, I'll select object is centered and watch what happens here. So if I go add to star model now, you'll see that everything is green the way we want it to be. All these circles need to be green. Now, what I've discovered through trial and error and just sort of playing around with this software is if I add one more alignment star either in the west or the east, it takes this accuracy to very good. But then for some reason I tried to do, you know, an eighth one. So 7 pointer stars or alignment stars seems to be optimal. You know, either 3 in the east, 2 in the west, or 3 in the west, 2 in the east type situation makes your accuracy very good. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's say I go back here and I'm back to the southwestern part of the sky, and I use this star here to add another star to my model, my alignment model, and then click go to Alnair. Again, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. And then I click that. Watch what happens to this right in here, this accuracy measurement. So I'm going to follow that to make sure it's actually where it needs to be. My assumption is if it's showing up here, it's a viable option for either an alignment star or a target for imaging. So far so good. So let's follow that to Alnair. And hopefully it's going to go where I need it to go. Might be off the, yeah, it looks like that one's not good. I'm not even sure where it landed here. Yeah, I think it's not where I needed to be. Just looking at where my scope's pointing, it looks like it's too near or below the horizon. So I'll select different target, and let's just maybe try over here and go to Deneb. Deneb's a pretty good alignment star typically. Again, depends on what time of year, but it's always been a good one. All right, go to Deneb. And hopefully hopefully we should start seeing our scope slew across the sky here pretty soon. And that looks to be pointing in a good direction, so let's look for that. There it is, and as you can see, Deneb is part of the constellation of Cygnus, or the Northern Cross, and it's right on the northern part of the Northern Cross. So it's where it needs to be. It looks like a good alignment star. It looks viable. Everything looks correct. So again, I would go here, fine tune it in the directicals of my camera software program. Once that was done, I'd remaximize that. And then select object is centered. Now watch what happens this time. Oh, it still says good. Okay. So I think let's see, I got 3 in the west. Let me try 1 in the east just to see what happens. So let's just say northeastern sky. Let's choose Betelgeuse, which is like right there. How about, that's kind of like right on the borderline right now of the horizon. So let me select Aldebaran, I think that's how you pronounce that. Again, please correct me. I'm always looking for the feedback in terms of where I'm going wrong, in terms of what I'm communicating. So anyway, go to Aldebaran, which I believe is a good one. In my mind, the more alignment stars, the better, right? It's like adding, all your calibration stars to make sure your slewing is very precise. So that's the goal. Is you want good precision with your slewing. Good, accurate precision. And certainly you don't want any of your cables hanging you up, so make sure you're on top of your cable management, which I think I'm getting there, but I don't quite feel like I'm there yet. Anyways, that's a topic for another video. I already have a couple videos on cable management. I'm making progress, but definitely improvement. Could be better there. It could be improved in that area. So let's see where I'm at. Let's see, let me move that down. That down. Ah, and there we go. Landed right on, sorry. I don't mean to make you motion sickness here. Or motion sick. I don't mean to make you motion sick. And so pretty much landed right on there. So again, I would go back to my camera software, do the fine tuning, and then go back to this screen and select object is centered. And now it says accuracy very good. Okay. And that's what I'm out for. I'm very picky with my accuracy. So at this point I would stop and I would click finish alignment. And that's about as much as I have learned about the CPWI Celestron software that just came out not too long ago. And I'm getting real excited about it because I'm learning that it will do plate solving too. It works with ASCOM, and so it's like, to me, the one-stop shop in terms of what I'm learning. That's why I'm very excited, because before I was all over the place with things I thought would make my session more efficient. I really feel like this will, fit the bill. As it were. So anyway, I'm glad I was able to share this with you. I have looked all over YouTube, and there's I found 3 other videos where it talks about CPWI. Of course, the Celestron website has a complete, descriptive write-up on CPWI. Again, so CPWI stands for Celestron, and then the company it partnered with Plane Wave Instruments, which is, I believe, the company responsible for you know, plate solving and those sorts of programs. So it's really exciting that Celestron, if you have a Celestron mount now, that you can tap into this, and it's a free download. It doesn't cost any money, and it seems to be pretty powerful and, you know, simple to use. I just started learning how to use this last night, and I'm already to the point where I feel like I could do an accurate, you know, star alignment with it. So that's pretty exciting. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I always appreciate your wonderful feedback and kind comments. And don't ever be afraid to be brutally honest with me, because, you know, the whole purpose of this channel is learning from the experts in the field, which I am not. I am thoroughly still a novice, just learning, you know, the best I can. What drives me forward with astrophotography is my passion for it. I am thoroughly caught up in the process of space exploration. It's interesting because a lot of folks talk about astrophotography or amateur astronomy as a hobby, but to me it's so much more. To me, it's space exploration at a given level. And to me, that's what we're all doing. We're all doing our part to contribute to our knowledge of the universe and the night sky. So I'm putting it out there that I'm a sponge with all you wonderful AP and amateur astronomers. So thanks again for joining me, and I hope everyone has a wonderful, clear, dark sky process, which I do not have right now, but I don't want to sit here and, get off on my soapbox about the bad weather. Anyway, have a good one, and clear skies as always. Take care.